I was just driving to the gym to work out, and I was listening to the radio, and the word community got my attention, and it sent my mind racing. Community's not what it used to be in this country, and that's a shame. This image came to my mind of when I was a little boy. I remember it was a winter day because it got dark really early that day. I'd not been home from school that long, got off the bus. Mom had a little convenience store. And I remember just suddenly she grabbed me. She said, "Jimmy, get in the car. We're going to the house." And it was before we normally closed. And she took a paper sack and went down the aisles of that little convenience store and filled it full of canned goods. And then when we got home, she handed me a paper sack and said, "Go to your dresser. Anything you've outgrown or don't wear, put it in this sack." And she went to Daddy's room, went through his chest of drawers, went through her own, and we got in the car and down the road we went. I had no idea what we were doing. So we had a sack of canned goods and bags of clothes. And we got down just past L.M. Lovingood's house. This house that we were going to was right beside the Welch family. And I could see the fire department still there. There were fire engines there, and cars were lined up for over 100 yards long, pulled over on the side of the road. And we got out, we took our sacks, and we walked up, and this house is still smoldering. The fire department hadn't even left. And I remember this family, I don't know how many kids they had. It's been, Lord, 40-something years ago, but they had a bunch of kids. And I remember the husband and the wife were standing there, and everyone was lined up with pillowcases and sacks and bags, whatever they could. And they were going in line, giving their condolences, telling this man and woman how sorry they were. Their house had burned. They lost everything they owned right there. I mean, it was still burning in the backdrop. And we lined up and went down. I'll never forget seeing tears running down that man's cheeks, just probably the lowest of lows, the most humblest he had ever been, and us giving what we could. People lined up who had nothing to give, yet giving what they could, what little they could, to try and help this family that quickly after their house burned to the ground. And there were a bunch of barefoot kids that had run out of that house and it on fire. And I remember the mama had a baby on her hip. And we gave them what we had and we left. That's community. That's a sense of community. And I think, when I think about better, it isn't just physically being the best version of you can be. It's being the best version of you that you can be. And that means being a better neighbor, a better friend, a better member of your community. I think we could all do a little introspection and think about, am I the best that I can be? Or do I have some room that I could do a little bit better? Keep moving.